Welcome to Autofaze. On this video, we're going to get the WS6 dialed in. If you remember back from a previous episode, we took this originally to the dyno and we were super excited, but we had blow-off valve issues. Well, that's all fixed, and we're headed back. We got the boost leash on. We're going to head to the dyno, and fingers crossed, we'll be able to finally put some power on the rollers. What's the plan, Ryan?
Get a full pull.
All right.
It made 11 pounds.
Really?
Yeah.
On gate?
Yeah.
Wow. What did it make that time?
Yeah, it made 10 pounds, but it comes up, makes 10, and falls off to about 7.
Huh.
So
I just can't seem to win with this car.
we'll see if it does that more when we open the CO2 up.
Okay. Would you have expected it to make more with that PSI versus what it made?
Not with the timing out of it.
Got it.
So I knocked it in the head a bit since we didn't know what the boost was going to be.
Yeah.
So after aborting the first one, because I saw the boost go up a lot higher than what we had planned on, I was like, no.
Sure.
So now I've got a pretty good pattern, so
I was really hoping the pull at 3 in the morning last night was just like maybe the leash was off a little bit, because like I did 2 little like baby pulls. One was up to 6, one was up to 7. I'm like, maybe this thing is off. I hope so. Doesn't sound like that was the case.
No, it looks like it's on. So
do you think it's boost creep or what?
It could be a couple different things. I'll know more in a couple pulls.
Oh, okay.
So it could be boost creep. It could be the fact I got timing out of it. We're over in the gate.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be a couple different things.
There's so many things with tuning. You're like a wealth of knowledge for real.
Yeah, it just takes a couple pulls to kind of see what it's going to do.
Yeah, so like I never realized that
the
amount of boost you could make could be based on your overall timing.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
Yeah, as you pull, because I've got quite a bit of timing out and it caused the boost to go up. Well, I don't know if that caused the boost to go up, but reduced timing will drive the boost up. And the boost is the highest where I've got the timing the lowest.
Got it.
So since we're a stock rod deal,
yeah,
we're not going to have much timing in it and torque range. So
right.
Yeah, so I got the timing out of it there. So
okay, cool.
Like I said, do a couple pulls, get a pattern established, and go from there.
All right, sounds great. So we got a little bit of an issue today on the dyno.
Again. So since we've got the blow-off valve working properly this time, we got another obstacle with the leash controller. Normally leash stuff works really smooth, really easy. But as soon as we try to command 10 pounds of gate control, we're getting an uncontrollable 20-something amount of pounds of boost. On gate control, now we're also making 10 pounds and then it falls off to about 7 pounds. So it seems like we're having a wastegate prioritization overrunning issue. So with the 50 millimeter that's on there now. So for size comparison, this is a Precision 46. That's a JGS 50.
Right.
Really similar in size as far as the valve size goes. And probably move up to something that's like a 60 millimeter. This is a Precision 66. It would work well too, but not quite as needed. But these are really big and bulky.
Yeah.
If you don't get them with the CO2 top. So I like the Turbo Speed stuff. That's what we use on the race car, just because it does package a lot easier and work in the space we got on this car. The bad thing though is we got to upgrade from our 1 3/4, 1 7/8 pipe on that thing to 2.5 inch feed for either one. That's going to help out a lot with controlling the massive amounts of exhaust flow that we need to control to keep the boost where we want it. This kit, I mean, I know this kit has worked before in the past on other combos. Not every kit works the same every day. So in this situation, it looks like we're just starting to overrun it, and it's just getting worse and worse as we add more dome control to it. So we're gonna have to put a pin in it, and some more fabrication works have to be done to get a little bit bigger vent on it. So either 2 of the small units or 1 of the big ones.
Got it. Thank you so much for the info. It's,
yeah.
I never realized the turbo stuff was so complicated until like we did this one, and now it's just like I learned something. I feel like every other day about it.
Yeah, and I mean, as long as we don't have any leaks on the push lock 4/8 or 1/4" lines, then I mean, this is more than likely going to be our issue.
Cool.
So,
all right, back to the drawing board.
Yeah, do this and then put some AN lines on all the boost reference lines, and
absolutely.
Then it really should be trouble free.
Yeah, because I was up till 3 a.m. actually replacing one. So you totally called that last time. Like, dude, you should. This is good for now, but you definitely need to replace this.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. If we can get past the dyno, it's okay. But yeah, your first track outing, everything gets so hot. Those push to connect lines, if you don't have them really isolated from the heat, they're going to fail. Yeah. So,
cool.
Stainless braided Teflon lines, a lot higher resistance. So.
Way to go. So you can't just use a regular like 4AN line?
You can if it's heat resistant.
Okay.
So we've seen that with the AeroQuip start light. That works out really well with the Nomex liner on it. It holds up extremely well, and so does any of the All-Star or AeroQuip pre-assembled 4AN stainless steel Teflon lines. Okay, those go in nice. So we use the stainless steel Teflon lines on my car.
Got it. Okay, we got some work to do. Ryan, thank you so much again,
no
man.
problem.
We just like coming and hanging out here.
Yeah, right. Learn something new every day.
All right, thanks, man.
Yeah.
All right, well. All right, basically what we got to do is we got to upgrade the wastegate size because the next gen 7875, it's basically overpowering the 50 millimeter gate. So we need to upgrade to a 60 millimeter gate, upgrade to some stainless steel lines. That way, well, stuff like this doesn't happen and this doesn't happen. Yeah, I found these. There was another one also, but anyway, that was probably from the drive home. All right, so we got our 60 Turbo Smart gate. We got our Turbo Smart 60 millimeter gate. We're over here at Vasko Speed, the man, the myth, the legend, Brad Vasko. We're gonna get to work, throw this thing on, and then we're gonna go out and test it. I'm really stoked. You've seen what we've done so far. I think this is gonna be the ticket.
As you may remember in some of the previous episodes, when we built this turbo kit, the wastegate actually moved due to heat, which never had to happen before, but it did, and nobody's perfect. It rubbed a hole in the radiator, so we ended up getting a new radiator, and we ended up changing this and adding this bar in here to help support it and keep it from moving. Well, now we're dealing with the issue of we're not being able to control the boost as much as we'd like. So this is a 50 millimeter wastegate, and we're moving to a 60. So hopefully by putting a 60 on here, it should help us regulate the boost.
This is the new wastegate, Turbo Smart 60 mil CO2 top hat. This thing is gonna be absolutely sweet. This is definitely a pretty big size differential. Overall, our length is a little bit shorter with the Turbo Smart gate. But man, check out that side-by-side action. All of the air regulation going on with the left side here.
Just straight out with it more.
Yeah, we really only need like, what, maybe a 3-inch section?
Yeah. So that needs to kind of be higher here. Needs to be lower there.
A little more fit and finish, baby. I think that looks good. I think that's gonna work, man. I think it's gonna look good.
Yeah.
Test fit.
Time we had this weight wastegate on, it actually got hot, and when the heat would get to it, it'd move and rub this. And of course, it was pretty close to the radiator at the time. So we ended up moving it back, and then this plate here, we had a rod going to it after we redesigned it, and it did never move after that. So this time we're gonna try and prevent it from moving again, but instead of doing a rod, I think I'm gonna put like a brace or a plate of stainless steel on the side of it to help, one, keep it from moving, plus you have a heavy wastegate out here bouncing around, so we're gonna try and stabilize it some.
All right, doing a little bit of marking. We're gonna take it off, and Brad, we're gonna do an epic welding sequence. The push lock on the car has been replaced with all-star stainless steel line, except for the two on the wastegate, but we have them plumbed out of the way quite a bit that I don't think it's going to be an issue. I did order one a little bit too long for the fuel pressure regulator. I'll fix that later on, but let's give this a drive. Last thing left is to take this thing out and test it, see what she makes.
I was making sure we weren't crashing. I was trying to like hold it and stabilize it, so I really don't pay attention.
Okay, let's watch the video.
We got video, but it's probably moving all around. 6.
See? All right, it held 6 the whole time.
See?
I call that a success.
It is a success.
All right, heck yeah. End of this video then, so
I totally forgot that thing was filming.
Yeah, so with the 60mm gate, it holds 6 even through the second to third shift. So we have now stabilized the boosties. And
even sometimes when I stay in third, it wouldn't even shift before.
Frustrating. All right, here we go. 60mm gate is on. CO2 bottle is in. We're going back to the dyno for the 4th time. 4th time's the charm. Let's hit it. I'll see you there. Fine. It's the 4th time we're here.
4.
I think we got
4.
I think we got it squared away, buddy.
Okay, so what do we got now? We got a bigger wastegate.
Bigger wastegate, 60mm turbo smart wastegate, and converted the important lines to the stainless steel lines like you advised, and so far I feel like it's running great.
No more melting.
No more melting.
How many melting spots did you find in the last line?
I found like 3.
In the same line? Or different lines?
2 in the same line, 1 in a different line.
So, don't use push lock.
And so when we were leaving the Nolan Road cruise and we raced the boost on the highway,
okay,
and I noticed the blow-off valve wasn't working, I knew that was a problem.
Yeah, I need that to be fixed too.
Yeah.
So that's all good.
Yep, everything's good, everything's ready to go. So hopefully today we can figure out what it takes to make 700 horsepower.
Here it comes.
Cool. This is literally like the hottest week. Heat index is like 126 today. It's so humid. I'm literally look like I'm in a swimming suit, but I'm not. It is so hot right now. But we're gonna put this thing on the dyno and see what it does. Everything's squared away, so we'll see if we can see what it takes to get up to 700 and around there and kind of cap it. So we can make power when it's this hot. We can make power when it's super cool outside like it was a week and a half ago.
Start off with gate control.
Okay.
Make sure everything's 100% there.
Yeah.
Once gate control's done, usually I go up in 3 to 4 pound increments.
Okay, perfect.
Until desired power level.
Okay.
So since we're shooting for 650 to 700, we're using a stock LS1 Gen 3 rod bottom end.
Right.
So 700 is usually kind of about the limit of what we want to do on that, especially on auto.
Yeah, okay,
So
cool.
That's where we're heading to.
All right. What you're seeing?
Yeah, it's looking good now.
Awesome. Still on gate?
I gave it a little bit of CO2 on that one.
Is the boost leash working right?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. On gate on 6 psi. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Either spun or it slipped through the third gear on the trans. So I'm just going to transfer it.
Okay. Good?
It's good. Is just at, if not a little bit over the hot.
Right.
The tire doesn't feel sticky, but right here you'll see wheel speed, which is green, and then our engine RPM, which is red. And you see it's got a completely different shape to it where it goes up.
Yeah.
As soon as I let out, it comes down quite a bit. I am dynoing it in third with the converter lock.
Right.
So it should increase the exact same rate as the wheel speed.
Sure.
So that means we're either slipping through the converter clutch some or the transmission some.
Okay.
So it could be the transmission though.
Could be the transmission.
What do you think? What do you honestly feel? You feel like it's honestly a third gear slip issue?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I guess there's no point keep beating on it and turning it up if that's the case.
Right, because the pull before last, I thought it slipped a little bit, but it wasn't enough deviation to really show it.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, with HPTers, we can't log super fast.
Right.
So we only get 24 hertz.
Well, then the amount of slip we're getting from the engine to the dyno is pretty substantial.
Yeah, so I mean, the component in the middle, transmission is the one that's giving it up.
Yeah.
So, because it does not appear to be tire slip at all.
Right. Well, I guess
Unless you wanted to see if it sure was the converter versus the transmission.
That's the only thing.
Could we unlock the converter and see if it's a converter versus trans issue?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
The shape looks the same. So it could be in the torque converter. And I read it's the same RPM, but we sampled even less. So it could be in the converter, but I'd probably still have everything looked at.
Okay. So this is gate and 7 pounds?
Yeah. Well, no, I took the 7 pounds off.
Okay.
That is a spike to 11 and then falls off to about 8.
Okay.
And then blue is converter locked versus brown is converter unlocked, so it did multiply torque more.
Okay.
But it didn't climb as much RPM. Both of them were short on RPM transfer.
Yeah, because that's showing like 5,200 almost.
Right, I read it to 64.
Really?
Yeah.
So we're talking 1,000 RPM loss to the tire?
Yep.
Wow.
That's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
Yeah.
Could that be part of the reason why on the street it won't shift second to third? Because the RPM issue?
Yeah, that's what makes me think it's more of a, not a converter lockup issue, but definitely in the trans.
Don't know why this thing is fighting us so much. I'm not sure how much the audio came over. I haven't watched the footage yet, but basically what's happening on the engine, we're basically seeing, we're taking it up to 6,500. The rollers are only seeing about 5,500, so there's about 1,000 RPM being left off the table for drivetrain loss. So we're thinking, looking at some of the data, you can see that we possibly feel like it's slipping a little bit in third gear. So we're gonna take the trans out and we're gonna send the converter back to Circle D and just kind of, we're thinking that's where the problem lies. And so this thing just continues to fight us and fight us and fight us. Oh man. I'm gonna be honest, this is a lot of work to make 700 horsepower on a stock bottom end LS1, but man, I know it's gonna be worth it. And we'll get there. We'll get there. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you on the next one.